Hey, this is Danny from the Magic Our Way podcast, and you guys are listening to the BS Podcast Network.
Cinque. My name is Austin. Welcome to the Lukewarm Cinema Podcast. Today I'm joined with
Cinque. I'm reporter George Carmona.
Cinque, I'm reporter Chris Bosch.
Holy shit, guys.
What a film.
What a film. You guys already know from the title what movie we watched. I think we should just jump right into it. But let me start with, if you haven't seen the movie yet, which is, it could very well could have not seen it yet because at this point of recording, it's like 3 days old. Spoiler fucking city.
Yes.
Imagine Brock Lesnar with Suplex City, but us with spoilers. Same amount of damage. It hurts the same.
Yeah, no, we're about to do that shit over and over again. It's like Brock Lesnar at his finest.
At his finest, which was... But anyways.
Suplex, spoiler city.
Holy... I don't want to keep saying, but holy shit, guys. Let me just start with saying, well, now I know where I got COVID from.
Yeah, that's an interesting tie at the end. So I think what I want to say off the jump is this movie had to have been made in the last year.
Oh, absolutely.
Started filming probably like January. Probably like, the pre-production stuff was all through 2019, but I think they hit like the actual filming part in 2019 because you get to see the impact of the Rona.
Yeah, you see him like at the beginning, everybody's chill and normal, and then halfway through, he's like, where is everybody?
The streets are empty.
Yeah.
So
go ahead, Christian, please.
Okay, so my big worry going into this movie, having seen the first Borat, was, is this gonna be that fucking crazy? Like all the shit, the camera, the hidden camera shit, or the reality stuff, the pranks, just make fun of everything and do it as salaciously as possible. The movie delivers. And I think in some aspects it goes further than the first one, right?
Yes. And we'll hit all those points because I know what we're going to mention. The organic content that was produced, brother, that was just all natural was insane. Like literally so well thought out, so politically motivated. There's a reason this movie came out 2 weeks, like a week and a half before the election.
Yeah.
For sure. They knew what they were doing.
Next Tuesday is holy shit. Get out and vote, people.
Yeah. I haven't voted yet. Have you guys?
No.
Wait a minute. I could vote?
Yeah. Chris
sees the 80 YouTube ads for fucking...
Yeah, if you don't know now that you can
voting.
vote, you can vote. Also, in a very aggressive manner, people can look up that you voted, which, I mean, I already knew they could do that.
I did not know you could do that. When I saw that ad, I was like, damn. Because now people are going to for real get on people. Like, if you didn't vote, I can see this happening.
Yeah.
I could see this happening.
People get on me, but that's neither here nor there. Get out and vote, goddamn. It even says at the end of the movie, go vote or you will be executed.
For a reason, because they highlight how goddamn racist America is.
Overall just terrible. But holy shit. Let me just start with, I thought Mike Pence was going to be the pinnacle of the movie.
Same.
The way the trailers came out, I thought that was going to be the very top of the movie. And that's what the whole thing was like. That was like, what, 45 minutes, an hour into the movie? If even that, maybe like 30 minutes.
Yeah. Jump straight into it.
Yeah, I almost thought it was moving a little too fast until I realized, okay, this isn't the main point. I was like, wait a minute, this is like a 45-minute movie.
Yeah, and the trailers definitely made us think that the best prank was going to be Mike Pence, right? He crashes the rally. And like, just to understand what this movie is like the first one, it's one of those things where you have the, pranking unsuspecting people with the character of Borat, right? But then there's like a loose plot. So like there's some filmed scenes like, oh, in the first one, Borat's a reporter. So he has to go to America to learn the ways of America for Kazakhstan's advancement. And this one, the first film, was such an embarrassment to Kazakhstan that they like shunned him and sent him to the gulag.
Literally.
Where he got a lot of skills with his mouth.
Yes, as he later admits, he has good mouth skills from prison. Anyhow, this movie.
Shout out to all our prison listeners. I know you guys can relate.
Yeah, that's your guys' lives. We're not making jokes here.
Yeah, shit. If you got a talent, you got to be proud of it. Just like Borat.
Yeah. Okay. So to give a quick synopsis, I'm not gonna go into the whole thing. Borat is going to deliver a fucking monkey who's a top TV star and porno star in Kazakhstan.
What they say, the minister of culture?
I think he's the minister of culture.
It was like Johnny the monkey or
Johnny
something
the
like
monkey.
that.
And he was gonna go take him to Michael Pence, so that way Kazakhstan could be with the big boys club, aka Donald Trump, Putin, and
The Chinese
Kim,
president.
not China. No, is Kim Jong-un from North
Yeah.
Korea.
Yep.
That was the original plan. Then you find out he has a daughter. He's like, I have a non-male son.
They portray this whole daughter thing as crazy. And the daughter, I think, shout out to that chick. I didn't even get her name.
Oh, let me look.
Name.
Let me look.
Go
'Cause she
ahead
did
and do
fucking
that
great.
while I go on a little rant here about how she carries this movie. You don't get as much Borat as you do in Borat 1, which can deter some people.
But when you do get Borat, it's fucking good.
Yes. Because you're craving them. You know what I mean? Everyone's waiting for that, classic Sacha Baron Cohen one-liner that like shocks people. But this chick absolutely did a phenomenal job. And she's hot.
She's also 15.
She's not.
Well, not really. In the movie, she
In the
Oh,
is.
is she really not 15? Okay.
Well, geez, look her up now. Now I'm going to catch a case.
Okay, no, I don't want.
Oh, no.
No, she's no.
Give
Okay.
me the sauce,
Maria,
boss.
Maria Bakalova.
Baklava?
Maybe. Bakalova? Baklava? Is that how is that? I am very insensitive and I apologize.
You can't be racist
Okay,
against
baklava.
Europeans.
So she was
Have you
born-
ever had baklava? Either one of you guys?
No.
No, what kind of food is it?
It's a Greek dessert. It's like a sweet, like pastry thing. It's like really, it's like layered dough. I don't know how else would I describe it? Really sweet though, delicious. If you ever have the chance to get baklava, try it. It's a sweet treat.
So she was born in 1996. So she's a year older than me.
Oh, perfect. No, she is
She's-
steaming hot.
So that makes the scene with Giuliani a little less bad.
Kinda.
Unless they told him
Like
she
on a
was 15.
Hell no.
technicality. But we'll get there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, for all intents and purposes, I hope that they had told him that she was 15. That way he could, like, go away. But anyways, she did a fucking great job in this movie.
So she plays that in Kazakh, how women are treated there at the beginning. She's like she has a rope around her neck. She's in like this hay bale.
She's in like a fucking like a little like what's like a coop, but for like a fucking pig or something.
Yeah, she's like in a chicken shack.
I want to tie this in. I think they were trying to tie together something with Wall-E. I don't know if you guys remember Wall-E's first scene, like where he puts like the VCR in to watch that one. Like it's like the Mary Poppins movie.
Yeah, and it's Cinderella, but with Trump and Melania.
Yeah, hers is Melania, this princess. Well, not a princess. She's like a poor girl from like this Slovenia, and she's like
which
hoping.
I believe Melania really is from.
Yeah, no, they definitely hit that storyline perfectly. But I tied together like that Wall-E scene, like literally where he's playing the movie at the beginning and like dreaming of what the future is going to be like. And she's watching this whole fairy tale play out in front of her, just like the way she wants to. Because Melania's goal in this cartoon is to marry a rich white man, which then, kind of advances us from them going to Kazakh to the Americas, originally to deliver Johnny the Monkey.
Quick interruption. So she has a very extensive filmography. She was in a movie with Harrison Ford.
Really? What movie?
The Father.
Never saw
Anyways,
it.
so she's from Bulgaria.
And what was her name? It was like Tutor? Was that it?
Yeah, Tutor in
Mhm.
the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see. It'll tell me right here. Tom Hanks is listed in it too.
Well,
'Cause
yeah,
he's at
he
the
plays a
end.
crucial role
He's at the very end.
in
Oh,
the
fuck.
explanation of COVID.
Okay, so fucking Kazakh government sends Borat to deliver a monkey. The girl, his daughter eats the monkey. So she's like, ah, shit, I have to give my daughter to Mike Pence now as a gift. So, because Kazakhstan's in decline, we got to get on the good side. So they state something very important at the beginning of the movie. He's like, because first movie, people recognize now. So he has to use disguises.
But they do show him getting like shown in the street, like people recognizing him out in
That
the
was
fucking
the
world.
organic content
That was
right off the jump.
Yeah, right out there, like my name is Borat. He's like, no, not me. He puts a bag over his head, almost gets ran over.
People are just mobbing him to get his autograph because everybody saw Borat 1, Sacha Baron Cohen, a great movie, hilarious character. So they're just painting to the audience, hey, look, things are different now. It's not so easy to just do a Borat skit. So we have his daughter, the character's daughter, to kind of like be part of the plot. And so it's not so obvious what they're doing. And he also uses disguises throughout the movie, which are just hilarious each time.
What's your guys' favorite name that he uses? Because he uses different aliases. I'll start with mine. Mine was, I think he walks into this bakery and he calls himself John Chevrolet. It's like, hello, my name is John Chevrolet. Like, he uses the whitest name possible.
Oh, mine.
It was
Go ahead, Christian.
okay. So they go to this ball, right? So to teach Tutor, the daughter, to be proper, and he tells, and these are like really dressed up people. He says her name is Sandra Jessica Parker Drummond.
Yeah,
and then he's
Professor
Philip Drummond the Third. Okay, each new disguise is a new made up American name from the perspective of a Kazakhstan person.
not to interrupt. Here in North America, preferably Las Vegas, Nevada, with this Clark County School District, the education is not top notch. Nothing against you, George.
No, it's personal.
That's
a jab.
Are you the Michael Jordan meme?
Oh.
And I took that person.
Stop. Get some
Anyway.
help.
Please stop it. No, okay, continue with
Anyways.
how we're retarded.
There we go again.
So geography is not something that I am well versed in, but I really did not think Kazakhstan was real because of how fucked up Borat is until I watched the latest UFC fight, and there was a dude from Kazakhstan beating the fuck out of another dude.
Very nice.
Very nice. And I was like, all right, I got to eat my own fucking words because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about anymore. So sorry, I apologize, Christian. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but Kazakhstan's a real place. Don't listen
Austin
to
never
me.
watched the Olympics growing up. He never watched the flag ceremony.
I only
Didn't know
watch
his
the
countries.
Olympics to see who's going to win wrestling. That's it. And it's usually just Russia or America.
Yeah, they wrestle bears out there in Russia.
Yeah, and thank God they finally retired. Anyways, this isn't a sports podcast.
That is true. We got to get back to the freaking juicy parts from Borat. So I think, we're going into this whole synopsis thing. I want to just give like one big takeaway of mine that it separates the film, right, from the first one. And it's that they really limit the organic content, but the organic content when it is presented is enormously game changing to the plot. It's such a huge lead up. It's everything that you could imagine what a Borat skit would be like, right? When he did like the rodeo and sang the national anthem, he's really got the crowd by the balls. They do this by having this storyline of trying to deliver his daughter to people. And I will say it does limit the organic content, which can deter some people that thoroughly love that from the first one. But like you said earlier, it's tougher now. They had to go with all this disguises. And like I said at the beginning, they were freaking filming this thing during the pandemic. Like, I could only imagine the limitations that put on, them truly doing all the content they wanted. Right now, everyone's like, Christian and Austin are watching Borat behind me right now. So like they're looking towards me, but then they're watching the movie at the same time. I don't blame them though.
Okay.
what scene are we at?
Oh, it's the baby
that's
scene.
why I was laughing.
This is one of my favorite scenes is right after this. So he buys his daughter a cupcake because apparently women aren't allowed to have cake in Kazakhstan.
Any treats.
Any treats. So he goes, okay, this will be our little secret. And he gives it to her, and there's like a baby on top. It's supposed to be like a baby shower kind of thing. It's like a blue cupcake with a little baby on it. And she starts like eating it because she's never had anything like that before in her life. And she eats the fucking plastic baby. And she's like, what? And then they take her to and they're in the South, mind you. They take her to a women's health center. It's not a doctor they're talking to. It has like Sir, like Reverend or something in his last name.
It's a Christian, like Planned Parenthood type clinic.
Yes, it's one of those,
for lack of a better term.
Of those, so I know we have some here that are like legit clinics, and there will be. So there's one that I know of that's here, and if you go to it, it's like in a back alley. So you guys can't see it. So say
and then a guy comes out with a shop vacuum. Oh my God. That's what it sounds like you're describing.
No. So it's like a legit, like it's off a major. I think it's off Charleston. You turn into this like gated area. It's a business center. There's businesses there. It's all the way, as soon as you turn right into this little like plaza thing, it's all the way back and in the right. But to the left, there's another health center. There's a bunch of people holding signs that says like, you'll go to hell and Jesus doesn't make mistakes. So they end up going to like that place.
Do you ever wonder if there's like those people that go out there and they protest like abortion clinics that like there's like a schedule. There's like a boss.
Yeah, there is.
And they set up like a schedule.
Oh yeah.
I forgot you worked for political.
Well, I did, but we didn't do shit like that. But I guarantee you, like through their churches, they're probably like, all right, we need volunteers to go tell them that killing babies is bad.
No, because like, so I'll tie it to this weekend. I saw people protesting our governor Sisolak like on the side of the road, and I'm like,
oh, you mean on Twitter?
no, this was actually a person with a blowhorn, right? They had spray painted a big white sheet that said, recall Sisolak or whatever.
They're just
and
mad.
I'm looking at them and I'm like, like I guess they can sleep better at night knowing that they said like what they had to say. But like for me, I'm a person who was like, if you have that feeling or that thought, me making a goddamn sign isn't going to influence you whatsoever.
No. And that's the thing. And like, I feel like Borat points a lot at that. Is like, what you're doing isn't affecting anything. Like, if anything, you're making it worse. Poor Sisolak, dude. Not to get political on this episode. Poor Sisolak. Like, I had to unfollow him on Twitter because he'll be like, wow, I'm really glad we're helping this unemployment chain. They're like, fuck you, Sisolak. It's like, all right, that's enough Twitter for today.
Oh, yeah. That takes 2 seconds.
But going back to that scene, though, Borat and his daughter are in the clinic. And she's like, can you take baby out of me? And he's like, no, God put that there and God doesn't make mistakes. And so Borat goes on and he's like, so I put the baby in her. I'm really bad. And he smacks his hand like he's punishing himself. And he's like, we did it. That's why I gave it to her in back alley. And I told her, and she goes, Dad told me, she calls him Daddy. Like, Daddy told me it'd be our little secret. And he's like, and so the pastor's like, okay, first of all, we gotta stop calling her your daughter. Is this your dad? Yes. Is this your daughter? Yes. He's like, you never do this to your daughter? And like the pastor's getting so uncomfortable. He's like, okay, we can't change how we got here. We're here though. He's like, I don't care about what happened leading up to here. We're here in this moment. So he's like, God doesn't make mistakes. So instead of getting, the abortion, because that's probably what they think they need, they go to like a truck or gas station. And he's like, push the baby out. And she's like pooping in like a men's gas, like
truck stop
bathroom.
Oof.
And that's a legit like interaction.
That's organic content right there.
This is George's favorite part right here.
Oh
with
my
the guy
gosh.
and his daughter.
So yeah, like throughout it, I mean, so Chris, what was your big takeaway? Because I know I'd pointed out, like I highlighted the difference a little bit. Like coming into this, we didn't really speak much. We came right from downstairs to upstairs. We wanted to hold our thoughts in. So like, what was your biggest takeaway from all this?
Okay, so obviously this movie is like political, but for the most part, it's just like holding like a mirror up to the whole fucking thing. It's not making too many statements. It's just say, hey, this is what's out there. Okay, we're just the guys holding the camera. They were not afraid to parody everything. And I mean, really everything. Like at one point, Borat goes into a synagogue because in Kazakhstan, they're anti-Semitic, right? and he's like, whatever, for plot reasons, whatever. We're not going to do the whole spiel. And dressed up like a comical Jew, like a stereotype with a big nose and his little marionette with a
Look like Freddy Krueger to me for a second.
he had a little marionette that says
Wish.com,
media.
Freddy Krueger.
It said media.
Yeah, like, oh, the Jews control the media.
I wasn't sure what it said on his
He
little
walks
puppet.
in, he goes, nice weather we're controlling, eh?
Yeah, he says to Jewish people in the synagogue, oh, nice weather we're controlling. You know, like he's like the typical anti-Semitic, believes all these myths. And you know, it's never afraid to just totally like put it in your face about every like terrible shitty thing that's going on. Coronavirus, right? Which, well, you know, that's a big thing. Basically, everything is up to be made fun of in this movie, and it fucking does it with flying fucking colors.
Yes. I like how you said it held a mirror up to it. That's so true. It was not, they definitely, so
They didn't have to reach to show
Yeah.
how fucked things are. They just literally just pointed a camera at it, and Borat kind of poked it a little bit, and they were like, oh, guess what? This is how it really is.
okay, but I will say, there was not a much of an effort to highlight anything like radical from like the left side or like the Democratic side of you. They really hone in
Well, it's because
towards
he's
the more
super
conservative side.
I mean, so Borat is kind of like his personal project kind of thing, and he's very left.
Oh, you
So
don't even
he's
need to
just
tell me
trying-
that. I
But
knew
I do
that.
think it's funny though that like people from the left are already going to be like, "Oh my god, he's making fun of Jews."
Yeah.
Yeah, which like misses the point
Yeah, it's like-
entirely.
He could have got on your guys' ass hard, you know, if he wanted to. But
Oh yeah, he could have easily. And I think I saw something. It was like, if you're laughing or if you're mad at satire comedy, you're the reason why it's funny.
that's the truth.
Yeah, and it's like hose mad across the board, right?
I was mad.
and to what George was saying, the only thing that I somewhat disagree with in this film is that, which we know, Sacha Baron Cohen, he's left, right? And it's obviously exposing like a more liberal truth, and pretty much all the shit in this movie is fucking true. All the shit, because we could see it's like reality. These aren't all just bullshit. He's kind of doing like a straw man thing to the right.
Yes.
The Disney cartoons with Trump and Melania, the fake alt-right rednecks that he stays with in the lodge. They're searching up QAnon, right? Which is like an alt-right boogeyman type symbol. And like at the end when they do the running of the American, the guy has not only a MAGA hat, but he also has the OK alt-right symbol
Which
up.
isn't an alt-right symbol. People just threw it up. That. Do you guys remember doing that in middle school?
I fucking did this when I hit a 3-pointer. I've done this when I'm representing
it meant,
smoking
like-
weed. I mean,
I've also done this. Get that neck.
he
Slap the
self-serve.
shit. Self-serve.
Austin got me.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It meant good shit. Like, oh, or the funny one is loose butthole, because when you hold it,
What?
no, workaholics.
That is true.
Look, when you hold it like this and you close the circle, it's tight butthole. That means good. When it's open like this, it's loose butthole. Bad.
Apparently, it's a thing in the army too. On the Joe Rogan podcast, like when he was first in Texas, he had Tim Kennedy on, and Tim Kennedy's like, dude, this means like I want to say it was like it either means like a dick or a butthole, and you have to like plug it. So they had all these people at West Point. It was a game. It wasn't like a racial thing. It was a game they'd play. So you have all these people holding up buttholes at West Point graduation. He's like, you're telling me this thing we did in Ranger School is now at West Point and people think it's a racial thing?
My one of my students does that all the time, Johnny. He the little circle game, right? Mr. Cremona. I'm like, Johnny, quit showing me your butthole. And then that's the only way I got him to stop doing it.
You're like, whoa.
Because like at
Strategy.
first, because no, he got hella embarrassed by it. You know what I mean? Like I said, stop, show me your butthole.
Because you called him
And
out.
he's like, really, Mr. Cremona? You're gonna go there with that? Really? And then he'd never do it again.
you should be
But
like,
that's,
you know,
it's so funny.
you should be like, you know where I went to prison? Swainston.
San Quentin, motherfucker.
San Quentin. You would not last there, George.
Guantanamo Bay.
You're
baby.
big, but you're a teddy bear.
Yeah, no, I would get plowed through in prison.
What?
I mean,
You'd
shit.
learn many trick.
I would try to, use my smarts to stay out of those situations.
Did your smarts include your mouth?
No, that's last resort. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. You got a plan?
Yeah. Oh,
wait,
yeah.
wait. I thought usually they make you use your mouth first.
Well, I mean, Chris, have you been to prison?
No, I'll say that I haven't. I've just seen a lot of cool videos.
There's some TV shows about it. So to kind of just talk about the Pence point. The Pence thing is kind of like the Pamela Anderson thing. He gets escorted out, but he walks into the conference in a KKK costume.
Yes.
And he puts like his hand up and goes, "Hello."
He did this to get past. Oh, he didn't even need to get past security.
He did it to blend in.
Yeah, to blend in.
Yeah.
It's
So-
so good.
Well, like it kind of plays the thing I said earlier. I still thought it was hilarious. He's like, "Oh, we got to get into the Republican event. How will I blend in?" He doesn't know better. He's from Kazakhstan. He says, "We'll put a KKK outfit on," and he gets through. And this is him offering his daughter to Mike Pence. So he goes to the bathroom, puts a Trump costume on. Right, gets like a little fat suit. He puts a suit on. He puts on a Trump mask.
Pretty spot on mask too.
It looked pretty good.
Realistic as hell.
I want to say maybe they had somebody professionally make that for Franny. Did you do that?
That's that Amazon money.
Franny, did you do that? I know you're listening to this, Franny. Did you make that mask for Borat?
You probably didn't see that Craigslist ad.
I'm so sorry I died. Anyways, like I said, the Pence thing I thought was going to be a much bigger thing than it was. It was like 2-3 minutes and it was over.
What was your biggest takeaway? Like, fresh off.
That Borat's back, baby. That's the first thing. I don't know. I was more living in the moment. I wasn't looking for big takeaways. I was just living from scene to scene. And God, was I.
Do you want to talk about maybe our favorite like skits or our funniest moments real quick?
I think what we need to talk about.
I would like to.
I think what we need to talk about as responsible adults is the scene with Giuliani.
Okay.
That's the most controversial
Jinx.
thing going on right now. As of recording this, it is Monday. This movie came out Friday.
Friday.
So it's still very fresh, but people have already seen it. And everyone's like,
Yeah, how could you not be? So Rudy
Yeah.
Giuliani, a little background, is Trump's lawyer. He's been Trump's lawyer since the jump, the whole Russia hoax, like literally from the start of Trump's presidency and probably even before that. Got a good tight relationship. Him and Trump. Tight butthole. Very tight butthole in that one. So yeah, we thought that the whole lead up was going to be Pence. It ends up being Rudy Giuliani.
which 10 times better for what happened.
Correct. So he's trying to, the daughter is still trying to sell herself or get herself to marry a rich old white man so that Borat doesn't get executed, because once Johnny the Monkey was killed and he couldn't deliver that to Pence, and then the whole Pence rally thing didn't work. He
was faxing. He went to a fax place.
Yes.
And was faxing back and forth. This is the plot line. This isn't necessarily real. I think this might have been one of the stage parts, but he's faxing back and forth at a public fax place with his prime minister, and he was
giving
like
him updates.
Yeah, and he was like, "I'm going to split you in half with 2 cows."
In the weirdest explanation possible.
And he makes the guy read it all.
But yeah, so then they finally come up with this plan. Like, okay, it's not any one of these other Trump people that he's close with, because all those guys were in prison, but Rudy Giuliani isn't in prison, so we can try to sell the daughter to Rudy Giuliani.
Well, he wasn't going to sell him. He was going to gift her.
Yes.
To create better relations between Kazakhstan and America.
I think it would have worked too. They were very close to sealing the deal there.
They know how to play that game.
So this is where I would like to just think about the whole background thing and how you guys would go about setting this up. You can't just fucking talk to Trump's lawyer and get an interview in a hotel room unless you have a excellent backstory. What do you guys think that was?
Well, it shows it, because remember, and this was in the news when Borat did that very racist song at that rally. She was a news reporter for like an independent outlet. So it was a
Republican independent outlet.
Republican independent outlet, because she was there to report about our 4ER rights march. And so she showed, I don't know if this is how they really did it, but they showed her calling and they go, "Hi, yes, I'm so and so with the X and Y reporting place. I would like to interview your boss." So I'm pretty sure that's how they did it.
Damn. I mean, yeah. But they had to have covered it up. It's like, what if it was like that demo tape like thing? They're like, "Okay, send me your background information." And they were just like, "All right, fuck it. This chick's hot, so let's just let her in."
Oh yeah, Rudy was probably like, "Yeah, give her to me."
Okay, that was a very important part of the setup. So Borat's daughter is now being a reporter. Like she says, "Fuck you, Dad."
Because
I'm
she
gonna.
learns that women can be reporters.
Yes. Kazakhstan is portrayed, not real life. It's being portrayed here as, well, I mean, I don't know. I haven't been there. It's being portrayed in this film. Yeah, walking on those eggshells. It's being portrayed in this film as like Borat is very misogynistic, and like to where his daughter even has a book of like propaganda saying like women can't drive, women can't touch themselves.
They can't read.
They can't touch
It's a
themselves.
book.
I'll just dive right in. They fucking the tooth vagina. I actually saw a movie on that. It was called Vagina Dentata. It was on Netflix.
That's the next movie we're watching.
crazy film. The chick's just snapping off dicks with her vagina teeth. Moving past. That's
Dear
what that
God.
book was about.
Oh my God. That's what they show in this world of Kazakhstan, in the movie world of Kazakhstan.
Yes.
So yeah, she figures out that was, it was all propaganda. That was a lie. Women can do things. She becomes a reporter. She bags an interview with Rudy Giuliani, which was set up by the production team, which like hats off to them. That's fucking hard to do, right? And she's her character is 15 years old. In real life, she's older, okay?
She's our age, yeah.
But she's posing as 15 years old, okay? And they get her all dolled up for the interview. And she's doing the interview and she's, like laughing and, touching Rudy Giuliani's knee and, like
drinking.
Yeah,
drinking, yes.
They're having some
some whiskey.
some liquor.
He's probably too fancy for whiskey. Only pure people.
Scotch. My bad. Fucking 15-year aged.
He probably had like Sprite in there and he just
Little food coloring.
little food coloring.
Yeah, just a complete like, holy crap, this is going nowhere good fast. And so I like the way, so like Chris said, getting all dolled up. Borat's trying to run in and save her because he realizes that he doesn't want her to, go through with this. Because he eventually realized, like, this is like that climax moment where he loves his daughter. I need her to not, go have sex with Rudy Giuliani. So he's like running through the hotel, trying to get up to the room. And then they cut to the interview. And it's like, dude, it's the spiciest buildup. Oh, it's so
and
good.
it's super intimate because I think it's just two cameras. There's no cameramen. It's just two cameras, her and Rudy.
Yep.
And she's like, and like he comes in and like he's wearing another disguise. He's a sound guy. He's like,
He eventually gets in, right? Borat eventually gets to the room.
granted, can we just talk about he had to put a mask on to go into the hotel. He puts his fucking underwear
Over his head.
over just his nose and his mouth. And runs up and they're like, what the fuck are you doing here? You can't go up there. And he's like, I need to go upstairs. The time running out.
So time's running out. Tick, 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 tick. Another shot of the daughter in there with Rudy Giuliani asking, like, she was asking basic questions about coronavirus and stuff to really play it off that, this is a legitimate interview, gives Rudy Giuliani a little fucking softball question to shit on China. Like, shit like that.
Yeah, like she's definitely playing the, I'm a Republican independent
Yes.
reporter. Oh, it was Obama's fault, China virus, blah, blah, blah. And then Borat comes in disguise, pretending to be a sound guy to break it up. They shoo him away. And then she tells Rudy, oh, let's drink these in the bedroom, right?
Oh, yeah.
Dun, dun.
And he instantly sits on the bed. At least the camera angle that they cut to is him sitting on the bed. And granted, you should all know this is an explicit show from this is, I think, episode number 20 now.
Fuck,
Yeah.
take it or leave it. That's what the show's about.
Yep.
Yeah, literally. He's sitting on the bed and she's reaching like right in front of like his crotch region.
She definitely like he's in a suit.
Yeah.
She untucks his like dress shirt.
Yeah.
Like,
and then he's like, his excuse, because he's already come under fire for this, is that he's tucking his shirt in. You could see that, but you could also very, 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 very well see that he was reaching way farther than to tuck in his shirt.
Okay, just for a fair order of events, he sits down. She helps him with his mic, and then I don't know if she's untucking like the wire part of the mic from his shirt or just untucking part of his shirt. It's one or the other. But it's not.
But you
explicit.
can't see. It's from behind him. But you see her reaching
Yes.
in that area. and he puts his hand on like her lower back
Yeah, and she doesn't reach into his pants, just kind of tucks his shirt a
as
little.
far as we could see.
Yes. And she walks off, and he like lays down and reaches like down into his pants like he's like not just playing with his, not just fucking with his shirt. To me.
So
Yeah, I definitely was like, he's reaching way down there.
the trick is, and you know, my dad always does, I think it's just like an old person thing. Whenever you dress up like in a dress shirt like that, he tucks his shirt into his underwear. And I've done that before. It's like, in order to like really get your shirt off, you kind of got to dig in there. Try to feel. Because so like, there's no way that guy wasn't going to play through with that. And I think for the sake of not only Rudy Giuliani's career, but the sake that this movie even coming out, that goes any further, that goes 10 seconds further, like, who knows what would have happened?
Yeah.
This movie wouldn't have been released, or they wouldn't have shown that piece.
Oh, I feel like Sacha Baron Cohen would have fought for that. He'd have been like, no, we're showing that.
Well, yeah.
They probably would have showed a little bit more of the lead up.
Mm-hmm.
But
they did make sure to cut it off.
yes,
Basically, yeah, like he's digging in his fucking pants, and then okay, doing whatever. Either he's untucking his shirt, he could be untucking his shirt, he could be getting his little fucking buddy ready. Who fucking knows?
Buddy.
Okay,
Wake up, little buddy. Come on.
He is old.
He's fucking old as
that
shit.
debate aside, then right there before anything else happens, Borat busts in the room and he's in a fucking like bikini,
Like a
looking
lingerie top. And
Yeah.
he's like, she's too old for you. She's 15.
Yeah, so he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna save my daughter by offering myself to Rudy."
He's in lingerie.
He goes,
He's
my
in
back
fucking
pussy
lingerie.
is much tighter.
Don't put it in her news, put it in mine, much tighter.
No, he says back pussy.
He does.
He says both, and then she retorts, "No, my front pussy much better."
Oh my, I missed that. Oh shit.
Yes. And then meanwhile, I can only imagine Giuliani's like, oh, fuck, this is Borat. Like, because he doesn't know it's Borat up until that
Well,
point.
I don't even think he knows it's Borat. I think he's just so like shell shocked because you see him leave and he goes, "Who is this guy?" And his security like escorts him out.
Yep.
Not to get political. If I was Rudy Giuliani and I really wanted to care about my reputation and shit, I wouldn't have even gone into the bedroom just to drink. That should have been the first one. I get
Okay.
it. Though. George is getting all
Look,
worked up over here.
a detail that I want to point out, which doesn't necessarily point one way or the other, is that when Borat busts in the room, when they seem to be alone, and he's laying on the bed doing whatever he's doing in his pants, he fucking jumps.
He does jump up.
Rudy,
Hold on. I'm gonna,
you know,
I'll
and go ahead. That's all I wanted to say.
Oh, he's gonna pull up that
Whether
scene right now.
that casts suspicion or not, that's how things played out.
all right, we're watching it. Okay, they're going back to the room now.
Yes.
So
He
Rudy,
has his hands on her a lot though.
handsy little mofo.
He takes off her mic piece, I think. Yeah, that's what he does.
But he put like in okay, so he just taps her on the lower back, but that's still a little like She's pulling on his shirt though. That's his entire shirt. But again,
Okay,
though,
that's his mic pack.
Yeah, that's
she
his mic-
takes his mic pack.
So Borat just ran in and goes and he goes, "Why are you dressed like this?"
Oh my gosh, like I can only imagine your whole political career just flashing before your eyes. He's not even a politician, but as a lawyer,
Your fucking freedom
like
in
that's,
the real world, not in prison. I mean, granted, he'd probably go to a fucking camp, but
no, he'd go to those rich lawyers always find a way to fucking do prison from their house or whatever.
what's what I'm saying? Camp is
Yeah.
hello.
No, so rewatching that, guys, he's fucking getting his little buddy ready. He's getting his little.
So here's I feel less. I don't know. I don't want to say it that way. I feel better that she's not 15 because I would feel absolutely horrible if a 15-year-old was in that situation. She's our age. She's an adult, but also it's just like,
And given whether you think this makes it better or worse, she did not bring up her age in the conversation to him. But it was, as far as we see, it was never asked.
well, I think they just cut to them sitting in the chairs. We didn't see an introduction. He could have been like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" And then he could have been, "How old are you?"
Yeah, I'm sure that did not come up at all. These guys. So I don't know if you guys ever watched the show House of Cards?
No, I want to. I've heard it's so fucking good.
No, but speaking of Kevin Spacey,
Okay, not to go too far.
There.
Christian, just talk about it.
Yeah, go pedo reference.
Okay,
just get it out.
Pedo alert.
All right. So at the end of the movie, basically for reasons plot related, Kazakhstan becomes like really nice and democratic. Like
they become a feminist nation.
Yeah, they become feminist, like no more misogynist laws and stuff. And so Borat says because of that, now they don't give away their girls. Now they're mailing out grooms. So young boys in suits. And it's like a palette of like half a dozen boys.
Probably like 11 or 12 in suits.
And the little the ordering the mailing label says to K Spacey. To Kevin Spacey
in like Los Angeles, California. That was a good like Easter egg if you didn't catch it.
So I'll jump in with my little House of Cards thing.
Yes, please do.
So speaking of Kevin Spacey, right? So him in this role, he's a politician, but there's that love interest with a reporter, and you get to really see that like, and people say House of Cards resembles what goes on in that White House and what goes on in Washington D.C. really well, where it's just a politically driven world, man, and there's a whole bunch of cheating going on. None of these politicians are faithful. They honestly don't give a fuck. Like there are a whole bunch of
they're
old
on
men.
top of the world.
Yeah, there are a whole bunch of men that have as much money as they need. Their families are taken care of. Their wives are freaking shopping every day, so they're not going to say anything. And you have a guy like this in an interview, couple of drinks in a hotel room, like nobody around, and he went to go take his opportunity. And wow, I think I have yet to go on Twitter to see what the repercussions of all this is, because I wanted to speculate first. I think this dude's going to fucking court or something on possibly.
Is he though? I mean, with the rest of everything going on, are they really gonna?
Was it technically? Because technically she was not underage, and technically he didn't make any advances that were like he didn't like violate her.
Yeah, he could have even claimed like, "Hey, I was baited in this situation."
Masturbated.
Yes, when we see the director's cut, maybe some like extra things will come out. Maybe some anus play that we didn't see.
Sacha Baron comes in during this party. He goes, "This man is terrible. Let me show you why." It's not even Borat talking. It's Sacha Baron Cohen.
So yeah, no, he boy, oh boy, I'm sure this is exactly what Trump needed right before his election. I know it's not going to change anything, but my God, does it make that dude look horrible?
Oh yeah, and for myself, I don't know if you guys know, I was fucking anxious that entire scene. I was uncomfortable. I was like, because I had heard on Twitter, I hadn't seen the scene. I'd heard on Twitter, and I was like, shit. And then it came up, and I was like, oh, I was literally pacing in George's living room.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
It was an intense fucking buildup.
And up until you guys heard on the podcast when I looked it up, I thought she was legit.
So, do we want to go over the twist?
Yes. I mean, I kind of gave it away in the beginning of the episode, but yes. George, or Christian, please.
Okay. So, it seems that Borat failed his mission, okay? He goes back to Kazakhstan to the government building where the guy who sent him out to do this is there. He said earlier over fax machine. He said, "You're going to get executed because you fucked up." Then he said, the daughter points to this like a smorgasbord or like a Sandwich board. That's what that stuff's called.
Smorgasbord, like Charlie and Charlie and fucking Always Sunny. Just
Yeah, Pepe Sylvia. But it says the plan, the government's plan, Kazakhstan's plan. It was called Revenge for Movie, right? Revenge for the first movie.
Yeah.
Because it was like a national embarrassment. 1, manufacture a virus. Then it was like step 2, spread it into America by injecting the reporter.
And, well, they said patient 0 candidates, and they had his Azamat, the guy that went with him last time, which got turned into a chair, and you see his little chub dick that he's sitting on at the beginning of the movie. They had a bunch of people, and then they circled Borat as like patient 0, and they show him being injected with it from earlier in the film.
Yes. So the bombshell was, which is like crazy. Like, we didn't go over a lot of the plot of the nitty gritty, but like the plot and the organic content where like you like have real filmed reactions. It's so seamlessly done, mind you, in this movie. So you're super invested in the plot at that point, and you think it's over. Here's the twist. He wasn't supposed to give a present to Mike Pence. No. This wasn't to restore Kazakhstan. This was to get revenge. Borat was injected with a virus to go spread it to America. And then after the realization, it cuts to a clip of all the people he greeted, where he does the thing where he does the face kiss on either side of their face, like the European, mwah, mwah. And, you know, all up in people's faces, coughing on people, not doing social distancing. And so it's like, oh, they're the ones who invented the coronavirus. It ties together the narrative.
So perfect.
So Franny, I know you're listening to this. He was on our 2nd or 3rd episode that we did, where we interviewed him as a special effects artist. He was texting me because he unfortunately has COVID-19. He seems to be doing well. He's in good spirits because we were just talking about this movie, but he said, God damn it, we got COVID from Borat. He was like, I knew it. And he messaged me. He was like, how do you feel now knowing that Borat gave you COVID? And I was like, I don't know, man.
A little in between on it. I'm sad that it had to have been Borat to do this to us. Trump's been getting it wrong this whole time, blaming it on
and
China.
So we just watched the ending of the movie, and because they became like a feminist nation, they also like Borat also has an iPhone that he somehow managed to buy for $30 from this guy. Can we please talk about that scene with the phone? It was like one of the first few scenes in the movie.
Organic content here.
Organic content, because that dude was uncomfortable. George, you wanna explain that one?
Damn, yeah. So he comes to America. It's right after he starts getting noticed by everybody, and he starts realizing like Americans obsessed with phone calculator. And
just
calculator, right? He thinks that everybody's just fucking around with calculators, and so he's like, I must go get myself electronic abacus. And goes into this fucking store, and I don't know. Me and Austin were like kind of blown away too, and the dude was like, yeah, no, you could get this iPhone for $30 here.
And it didn't look like a Metro. It was like some like podunk like mom and pa owned. So, and it had Siri
Electronics
on it.
Are Us.
It had Siri and FaceTime, so it has to be somewhat new.
Yeah.
Like within the last like 4 or 5 generations.
Well, I think it was just like one of those payment plan type things.
Maybe.
Probably. But so he starts learning how to use the phone, because he thought it was a fucking calculator until he got in there. And then so this dude's showing him FaceTime. And so he's talking to the guy on FaceTime. And then whenever the other guy, the main guy who's selling him the phone, starts talking to him, like not on the phone, he tells the phone guy, be quiet. I'm talking to Brian now. He's like, no, that's me on the phone. And he's like, Brian, be quiet. I talk to Brian on the phone now. Like, he just keeps going back and forth. And it's so hilarious. And then he learns how to
search.
He learns how to search things, right? And so he's searching
spit roast for dinner.
Yes.
And then cream pie for dessert.
He types it all in the same search bar, just thinking like, oh, if I type in exactly what I want, it's going to show me what restaurant to go to. And then obviously spit roast cream pie
Pornhub
will take you straight to the hub. And then Borat was like blown away, like naked women. Like, he's like, he's like, I must go to toilet now, and you stay here. And then like he goes to the bathroom, searches.
But he's still like
the phone
connected.
is casting to the TV that's
Yes.
in the shop.
so that's how
Yes.
you see that he's looking at this, because he shows him, he goes, yeah, you can search stuff on here. He goes, oh, I didn't. And then he goes to the bathroom, and what is he searching on there?
He searched tall African woman.
No, it was the other. I think it was like
Big African woman and
tall white man.
tall white man.
And it's just like a girl getting clapped. Just it's blurred, but she's getting clapped. And he's like, I think he's getting the hang of it.
Yeah, he's like the dude, right? Awkward as shit. His palms probably sweating in there. You know, it's
Like, there's a actual camera guy at this.
that legit organic content again. And this dude's like, yeah, I think he gets it. And then that was like the last scene, because I'm sure as soon as he said that, he's like, all right, we're turning this
Until
shit
the
off.
end of the movie.
There was something else at the end of the
Yeah,
movie. with it?
because at the end of the movie, he goes and confronts the prime minister. He goes, wait, that was planned? And he goes, yes, you were always planned. And he goes, hold on. And he brings up, and he like has Brian in the phone. He goes, he's their chief, what did he call him?
The expert of American expert of technology,
Yeah,
or something like that.
And he goes,
I
hi,
did
this
not
is,
remember
he goes,
that.
hi, this is Brian. I've recorded you talking. And he goes, what will it take for you to keep mouth shut? And that's how they get like the feminist country of Kazakhstan.
That is true. All because that fucking FaceTime guy.
Which the scenes with his prime minister are like shot like a movie.
Mhm.
Like that's all staged and acted out. But dear God, I mean, holy shit, guys. This movie was something else.
One of the finishing jokes that I liked was much like the Kevin Spacey joke, when it turns out Borat is the reason for coronavirus. It shows a clip of him visiting Tom Hanks.
Well, it shows him going to like different countries, and one of them is visiting Tom Hanks in Australia.
And he says, oh, Forrest Gump, can I get autograph?
He goes, what's your name? He goes, coughs on him.
And coughs on Tom Hanks. So Tom Hanks had coronavirus, and they got him to film the scene making fun of him getting the
Because
coronavirus.
he probably knows Sacha Baron Cohen, and he's probably Sasha was like, "Hey man, you want to record this joke about fucking coronavirus?" He's probably like, "All right." But they show other scenes of like Borat like at a market coughing on fucking chicken. It's just
Totally impressive
what
movie.
you got there, George.
I was trying to see what the budget was for this movie, but no, they did start filming in the start of at the end of 2019 leading into 2020, which this will be my last major point from this. I can only imagine that in that boardroom, as the coronavirus is happening, as you know, Sacha Baron Cohen's dream film, I would assume, right, leading up to this year, because his plan was to release this in October on this day.
Siri, what are you doing?
Nosy bitch. But like they had to have been in that boardroom erasing their plans for the movie like constantly, and just coming up with all these new ideas and reframing where they want to go with it, because I mean the world flipped on its head, and this movie said, all right, no, we'll just adapt to it and just keep moving. Like we have a date in mind, and we're going with it.
Because so when he's getting ready to go to America, they inject him with something, and he goes, "Gypsy tears will keep you safe." But then at the end, they show that no, it was really just COVID-19 they were injecting him with. So I think they went like, well, we have that. We were gonna say it was gypsy tears, but now we can say it was COVID. But I got some relating articles here. I'm not gonna read the whole articles. I'm just gonna read most of the headlines. I've been reading through most of these. They're all pretty legit. So Kazakhstan embraces Sacha Baron Cohen's Borat as very nice. So on their like tourist image, it says Kazakh tourism, Kazakhstan, very nice.
Chinkui.
Jinkui. Apparently, so I brought this up earlier. I'm not bringing it up now necessarily because of what I'm about to read, but there was a scene where he goes into the synagogue, and that's what he's doing. He's talking to this Jewish lady who was from the Holocaust, because basically he'd been lying to his daughter and saying like, oh, women can't do this, can't do that, and he puts her with a babysitter, and the babysitter's like, women can do all this, and she ends up going to like a Republican women's like meeting in like a hotel, and they were like, women can do a lot of things, and she's like, I don't need that book, because she has a book that she's supposed to read, and it teaches her like how bad like touching yourself is and all this stuff, and she goes, the Facebook is more true, it told me Holocaust not real. And he was like, Holocaust not real. And it's like he's mind blown. So he goes to this synagogue, and the woman's like, I was in the Holocaust. He goes, no, I said it was not true. She goes, I was there. He goes, Holocaust happened? And he's like excited.
He fucking gets hyped about the Holocaust in front of a Holocaust survivor. An all-time pimp move.
So apparently she was filing a lawsuit against Amazon about like, I guess like forging her signature. But according to Variety 5 hours ago, Borat lawsuit over Holocaust survivors interview is dismissed. So they got out of that shit.
That Amazon money.
Wait, it was the lady in the synagogue that he talked to?
Yeah.
Damn. See, I thought like these people had to sign like a media release for this footage in the first place.
Yes, but this happened with the first Borat movie because also the babysitter says she feels betrayed from the New York Post.
Well, like they didn't understand how the footage was going to be used.
So like in Borat 1 with the guy who sold him the pussy magnet. He was like, I didn't know I was going to be portrayed this way. I thought it was like a very educational. I thought they told me they were going to edit clips out and they didn't. So it's probably the same thing. They're probably like, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah, but I mean, like, shit, man. Like, if you'd say anything testy and they're just like, okay, yeah, and this is going to be part of a movie, then you'd probably have to make the executive decisions. I don't want to be shown. You know, they had the option. That lady who was a babysitter, I thought did phenomenal in her role.
She was funny as fuck.
She was great.
She was like one of the only reasonable, like she was one of the reason, like they run into all these like crazy racist people. She was one of the reasonable people, and she was like lecturing Tutor, you know, like, oh, you know, you don't have to sell yourself to a man. You know, you're beautiful. You can do what you want, type stuff. And it was quite nice.
NBC News is saying that it's a superhero movie for mocking the right.
Of course.
Oh my god.
No,
this movie is great.
So
we got to rate this thing.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say we got to get we're nearing the end here, right?
Yeah, we're about an hour in now.
Wow. Okay.
And it feels like time flies because no matter what we rate this, let me just ask, were you guys entertained? I was thoroughly on the edge of my seat this whole movie.
Yeah, it lived up to the first Borat for sure.
I enjoyed watching it with you too. Like I said at the beginning, right? I had watched like the first 10 minutes on my own. And I obviously wasn't going to watch it all the way through because I wasn't with you guys. But I, at the same time, like, you guys gave me a little excitement.
Yeah, I feel like when we watch it together, we talk it out too.
Yes.
Like with Murder Mystery, we were talking that movie out like to a T.
Yes. Yes. But no, I was entertained. I was entertained, especially when you had given me like that little tidbit about Rudy Giuliani. Before the film, I hadn't even known.
Yeah.
Where that was going. So like this whole movie, you know, you had me, as soon as you said that, I was thinking about that all the way through. So I attribute some of my excitement to you, Austin.
Okay. And I feel like it's funnier when we laugh together because like Christian's sitting there fucking dying over like him getting like he's in the synagogue right now, but like when he's like hyped over the synagogue, Christian's sitting there like, oh my god.
Yeah, he comes in like the comical, the, you know, hat and the fake Jewish sideburns, and he has devil wings and the marionette saying, oh, Jews control the media, you know, and a bag of money in his hand, the cartoonish, and he says, shalom.
Yeah, nice weather we are controlling today.
Like as much as I like, it was like, you know, them mocking, you know, the right was like strawman-ish. That part was fucking hilarious because like, it's like, yeah, that's the conspiracy. Jews control the media and the weather.
I think it's funny because of like how far he goes. Like he could have just walked in a suit and been like, oh, don't touch me. But he comes in like, I have to disguise myself as a Jew. And it's like, oh shit, he really went and fucking did that.
So here's just a little side note that I think has to be highlighted. Him, Sacha Baron Cohen, and Dave Chappelle are at the front of this. I don't give a fuck if you are offended by this. We cannot allow our comedy to be tainted just because people are soft.
I mean,
people want to sweep things under the rug.
Easily offended.
I mean, like Joey Diaz and Joe Rogan are at the front of that too.
Oh, but dude, I think, have you seen Chappelle's last special?
Oh yeah, dude. Chappelle is definitely that guy look at the Chappelle show like 10 years ago. He was still doing the same thing. But like Joey Diaz literally like was under fire for something and he was like, hell yes, let's go. Give me new material. And Joe Rogan, like Joe Rogan's getting like So he got signed to Spotify, and this is pretty scary for podcasts like us because we're on Spotify. We're not an exclusive artist, but like Spotify employees are like, we don't like Joe Rogan, so we're going to quit because we want to limit his speech, which is a crazy thing. So, I mean, I do agree though. Sacha Baron Cohen is at the front. Well, Sacha Baron Cohen is more of like I'm doing this out of like, oh, we got to point at this, but he's also very like, oh, I want to limit what these people can say, just based on what I've seen of his like TED Talks and stuff like that. Anyways, I do agree with you though. Like the whole like I don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. And I think we need more of that in today's world because people are just so fragile now.
I think bringing up Chappelle and his recent controversy it's very related because comedians have always been called like the canary in the coal mine because they can bring up the shit as jokes as comedians that we shove under the fucking rug. All the political problems, all the societal problems, everybody shoves under the rugs. The comedians are tearing that fucking carpet up. Let's go fucking Brazilian, okay? And
once they're dead, you're fucked.
Dave Chappelle did it, and the left was pissed. Okay, but people were saying, okay, he said some fair shit from a fair perspective though, and they were pissed. They tried to review mom at fucking pissed. And what are we seeing with this? Okay, the right doesn't like that they're getting their serving. Here we go, dude. And the new mindset is, oh, everything's sacred. We're gonna shove it all under the fucking rug, and you can't make fun of it. Which, like, even if I had that slight problem with the way he like presented some of this, overall this movie's badass because he doesn't give a fuck.
No, he doesn't, and I think that's something that's a takeaway for me is like you should. I don't know. I don't want to say live life and don't give a fuck because you should be considerate, but like,
yeah, we're a vest, like Kevlar.
But like, I think what people need to do more is just like relax, laugh,
enjoy it,
enjoy the things that are funny. Also,
because
go ahead. Mine. I don't have an also.
A world in which we begin to censor comedy is just bleak to me. You look at what makes people happy and what brings people together, and that's laughing. Even at the most serious of things, right? Everyone always joked that right after 9/11 happened, like, oh, well, how soon after this can we laugh about it? You know what I mean? Like that's literally what people were saying. Because you have to make light of horrible situations. You have to highlight things that aren't maybe the best socially or image wise. And you have to, get people to gather around that in a way that isn't hate.
Yeah. I like to go back to Joey Diaz, talking about making funny or, making light of a dark time. Like he talks about this, like if somebody close to him has a relative or somebody who dies, he'll give them a day and then the next day he calls and goes, hey man, you got a brother or cousin or something we got to take out so we can get that share. He's like, hey man, I'm trying to get paid, dog.
Right.
And like people are like, thank you. Like this is the first time I've laughed in like 24 hours, like with a dark situation. And Joey goes, hey man, I'm just, and like, I feel it's true. I've seen this all over the internet, but like laughter is the best medicine. I do feel like better if I'm having a bad week or a bad day if I come here and watch like a movie with you guys and shit like that. So I feel like people, I take that. No, I feel like people need to, there are serious issues in the world. I don't want to like downplay that. There are serious issues. Go vote, God damn it. But I think people need to start just laughing more because like I've started doing that. Like I started like turning my phone off at a certain time. I've stopped doing certain things and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to enjoy the moment with like my son. I'm going to let him beat my ass for a little bit because, he's a 2-year-old and he's just like, it's wake up time, dog.
You thought you were going to sleep in?
No.
And then he fucking, he
rock bottoms me.
He grows fucking like
SpongeBob arms.
Yeah. Are you ever going to call the cops on him? I like by what you tell me, your kid's beating the shit out of you at home. I think,
he's teaching you some new tricks.
We should get
I'm scared.
The law involved.
He comes home and he's like, I'm the man. And I'm like, okay. He wakes up from that time and goes, I want food. And we're like, yes,
mac
sir.
and cheese with hot dogs in it, daddy.
Well, no, he's weird, dude. If you're like, yo, dog, you want some quesadillas? He's like, hell yeah, I want some quesadillas. Hell yeah, bring me quesadillas right here.
And then what's weird about that?
Well, no, like he doesn't like some pasta he doesn't like. He's like, he's I'm gonna say he's not picky, but he's also picky.
Well, he's a young boy. All young boys are picky. Like I feel every kid does that.
Yeah, I mean we're not worried or anything, but it's just like I thought he would love mac and cheese, and he was like,
put mac and cheese in a tortilla.
God damn it, you're onto something. I'm gonna.
Here we go.
Anyways, guys, we got to rate this film, but before we get to that, Christian, please.
That's what I was gonna bring up. We got to start rating this motherfucker.
I'm gonna let y'all go first because I'm curious to see how you guys vote it.
I'm gonna say a 4.
Okay.
It was pretty good. Only fucking minuscule of anything wrong with this film. The rest of it's fucking just totally like all the skits are hilarious. The narrative, it was like really good. Great twist, funny ass jokes.
So we're doing this 4 out of 4 or 4 out of 5? 4 out of 4?
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5?
Yeah, so I said a 5.
I'm a little dumb, all right?
Pineapples.
CCSD.
Uh-huh. Yeah. 3 out of 5 in CCSD.
George is going to throw me out the window.
A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Have you ever gotten a G in class? G means you did a great job.
Oh,
G for green.
Dang, I only did
Kermit.
fantastic in school.
Oh, yeah. No, fantastic kids are the best.
All right, George, what do you rate this thing?
I don't want to piggyback off of and give you the same that Chris gave it, but I'll give it a 4.25 pineapples. I think it's a great film. It takes time to build up. You need to have known what's going on in the world. I think though, and I meant to bring this up earlier, this is a film where there's so many subtle jokes, and it's just like that first Borat film where it's maybe not the first time you watch it, but maybe the third and the fourth time where you're really like, this is seriously well crafted. And I think that I'm giving it a 4.25 now with like an asterisk next to it because it could for sure go up after I watch it a couple more times, find those little hidden jokes throughout it.
Maybe we'll have to do like a year in review.
True.
Go back and be like, all right, hey, it's a year from this episode. We're going to rewatch this movie and see what we think.
I think we're locking it up.
I think so.
That's good. So Austin, what about you? Pineapples.
So I'm going to go with a 4.5 pineapple.
Okay.
I think it's a great goddamn movie. Borat 1 just has a charm to it because like nothing really like it had been done before. Granted, the scenes that are genuine are, oh my God, like a lot more of it feels scripted in because they have to, because people know who Borat is now. But like, even still, the scripted stuff is still funny as hell. And then
Agreed.
the unscripted stuff is just stupid funny, like absolutely hilarious. Like I'm sitting there like wheezing, but maybe not quite the 5. Maybe it's because I'm uncomfortable.
Well, that like you said, that original lore of Borat 1. And I think what kind of fucks a movie like Borat is that there's so many YouTubers now.
Oh, they do the same thing.
The world of pranking people and catching reactions has grown exponentially.
But I will admit, nobody does it as good as Borat.
Well, no, because especially like the production value, Amazon.
Oh yeah,
helping out with this. The camera quality and editing was flawless.
Yes, but still, I give it a 4.5. I think definitely when we start watching this thing, maybe 2-3 more times, like I'll probably be like 5. But great movie. I definitely say watch it. I will say this movie is not shy of penises.
Oh yeah, there's
like
cocks.
six.
Sorry,
There's hella cocks in it. They bring back the. So in the first movie, they have it. Not to drag on longer. In the first movie, they have a scene where he's talking about like going to a dinner party, and he goes, "Can I show photos?" And she goes, "Yeah, sure." And he shows a photo of him next to like just a huge dick, like his face right next to it. He's giving a haircut to this guy to make money for this thing that they need, which you should go watch it so you can find out what that thing is. And he's like cutting his hair, and he goes, "Oh yes, I normally do like animal." And then he goes, "But I do this guy. I got the first person to shave his pubic hair. Great honor." And it's a dude's dick.
It was like a top porn star in Kazakh.
Actually, I think in like the first 5 minutes, there's like a fake dick on a chair.
Yeah, no, I would say it was probably 6 dicks.
Easily.
That's just off the top of my head.
Yeah, there's probably more that we haven't found. It's like going to Disneyland and finding hidden Mickeys, the dicks in the Borat movie. Definitely go watch it. I think it's great, especially if you have Amazon Prime. It's free with Amazon Prime, right?
Yep.
Go watch it, please, for the love of God.
Yes.
So we are the Lukewarm Cinema Podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram under Lukewarm Cinema Podcast. If you feel that we're insensitive, let us know at lukewarmcinemapodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
We also have shirts that George wears and looks beautiful in. You guys can buy them. The link will be in the show notes. And until next episode, guys, Jinkui.
Chinkwi.
Think we